Today's show is sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVCBuyResale.com is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club membership. You can view their current Disney Vacation Club resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC points charts all at DVCBuyResale.com. Or call Chantel directly at 1-800-844-4099. This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, January 4th, 2008, and this is episode 353 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm your host, Matt Hotchberg of StudioCentral.com. On the show today, we have Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Mike, I want to commend you on a job well done on editing Wednesday's show. My audio was terrible, but it sounded really good.
Yeah, I had a little work to do on that one. That was a little rough, but sorry about that.
Round of applause for you, Mr. Newell.
Thank you.
Also joining us is Mike Scopa of All Ears Net. Welcome, Mike.
Don't tell him. Don't be chicken.
Do not tell him, Carlos.
That Pirates of the Caribbean.
Don't be chicken.
Old wench in the second floor. And also on today's show, we have the fabulous Len Testa of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. How are you, Len?
I'm well, Matt. How is sunny Florida treating you?
Sunny and beautiful. So on today's show, we're doing a follow up. Now, Len, a couple of shows ago, we'll put a link in the show notes to it. He kind of went over some of the changes that had gone on in Walt Disney World in terms of what's changed and what's gotten better. And Len, we've got a follow up for this kind of. Why don't you explain to our listeners what we're talking about today?
So in the previous show, we had talked about how people's opinions of attractions had changed over time and how we were able to figure that out based on the new survey form that we're using in the back of the 2008 Unofficial Guide. So, that show was focused on attractions. I think in this show we want to focus on resorts, because we asked three important questions about Disney and non-Disney resorts. And the results are fairly pretty surprising, actually, at least in one case. Actually, in a couple cases. The questions that we asked were pretty basic. They were, would you recommend this hotel to a friend? And we gave them 5 choices. Definitely, maybe, a neutral recommendation. We probably wouldn't, and we definitely wouldn't.
Or only if my friend is Lou Mangello.
Exactly. Not if it was, are you kidding? I wouldn't let a dog or Mangello stay here.
That's right.
The other question was pretty simple. Would you stay here again? Yes or no? And then the third question was, how satisfied were you with your stay? Were you very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, or very dissatisfied?
And of course, these results are from the 2007 Unofficial Guide reader surveys, right?
2008. So we've been collecting them since August. We've got many thousands of responses, almost all of them online, thankfully, so we can automate the tallying of those. So starting with the value resorts, the key question, I think, the one that was most surprising to me was the simple one: would you stay here again? Yes or no? So of the value resorts, which value resort do you think scored highest?
Pop.
All-Star Music.
Mr. Newell?
Pop.
All-Star Music
scored
the highest. Actually, 100%. Every single person who asked the question to said. And if we went back and looked at how the resort scored in specific categories, things like how's the food court, how clean is the room, how is the staff service, stuff like that, and the music did really well with in cleanliness. Actually, I think it was almost near. It was near 5. The one that scored the lowest was
Pop.
Movies.
Sports.
Pop.
Hey!
Actually, which got low marks for. It actually was. It got Scuba Towers. It got low marks for soundproofing, for bed comfort, for room size, amenities, and value at the food court.
Well, and no hot water.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta put more entries into those surveys. I'm just
exactly. You can start dumbing them up. That's funny. So that was interesting. So
let me ask you this, Len. When you're saying you're saying the resort with the most change, the resort with the least amount of change, I'm going to venture a guess here and say that a majority of your responses in the Value Resort came from Pop Century. Like, are you accounting for like different percentages of responses? Like, you probably got a lot more responses for Pop than you did for All Star Music.
No, actually, we didn't get that many more. And all the results for were statistically significant. We got many dozens of responses for each of them.
It always reminds me of like those times when they tell in the news they'll talk about airline on timeness and like the different airlines. And of course, the number one airline is always like Air Hawaii, which has like 10 flights a day. No wonder,
and they can manage that. Right?
Really, yeah.
No, these are all. There are a couple of like beach club villas where I don't think we got enough responders. Some of the vacation club places we didn't get quite a few responses. Although we did on Saratoga Springs, which we'll talk about. But yeah, for the values for the moderates, we got many dozens of responses.
Cool.
So it's definitely statistically valid. So for moderates, what do you think was the highest scoring moderate?
Ooh, highest scoring. I'm gonna say Coronado because I'm just gonna go against my thinking.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Mr. Scopa?
I was going to say French Quarter.
Mr. Scopa's 2 for 2.
Oh.
97%. They specifically recommended the thing that scored high on was check-in service. So what were the two lowest? Actually, I was very surprised at what the lowest one was.
Caribbean Beach.
Coronado.
Second lowest. Coronado is the lowest. Actually, 71%, which is actually the given the number of people that responded, which again many dozens, to have 29% of the people say, "Yeah, I'd never stay there again," is pretty surprising. It scored poorly for cleanliness and for food value. Which cleanliness is one of those things where you really have to get that right.
Yeah, that's interesting. That cleanliness is that really stands out in my mind in terms of something that you're looking at. Disney. One of the if all else fails, I think we can all but guarantee a clean room, and that's interesting that people are complaining about cleanliness issues over there.
Well,
Yeah, it's one of the few resorts in which cleanliness was an issue. Actually, we actually broke all of these questions out by resort, so we have them rated on everything from room size to friendliness of the staff.
Pillow fluffiness.
Well, there's bedding. Or bed comfort. I think is the way we catched it.
How easy it was for your adult entertainers to make it through the gate of security.
Stripper pole, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I was kind of surprised because French Quarter for me doesn't really have that great a food court, but apparently that didn't matter to people.
I always liked French Quarter. I thought its size is its best asset because it is so small. Everything is so accessible. No matter where they stick you, really. You never feel like, oh God, I got to walk all the way over there, or it makes it feel cozy, if you will.
Yeah, that may be true.
Scopa, did you have something else to add about the Coronado or something?
Well, one of the interesting things is that when I was talking about the cleanliness issue, and of the value resorts, of the moderates, Coronado Springs is the only one that offers a convention center. So you would think that Disney would take extra precaution to make sure that of the moderates, that Coronado Springs would, be right at the top of the list regarding cleanliness, so that they could constantly get companies to bring their conventions and their people to that resort.
Well, that was my question to Len. Are those typical vacationers or are those convention people that you surveyed?
They're people who are buying the book, so I'm going with vacationers. Vacation people. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It's just, it's really a shock to me that cleanliness is an issue at any of the Disney resorts. As I said it before. I think Disney holds a higher bar in terms of their resorts, and certainly issues like those issues that dog a lot of the resorts offsite, where like you go on TripAdvisor and you look up the hotel and it's like, don't stay here again because it's got it's one of the 10 plagues.
Took away my laptop or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You don't have to, you never have that fear with Disney resorts, and it's interesting. It's kind of shocking to me.
29% is very high for that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, almost a third of the people who, or more than somewhere between a third and a quarter of the people that stay at the resort would never stay there again. That's surprising.
It's just those people from Jersey just dragging in all that dirt, and
That's what it is. They had to stay next to a lawyer from New Jersey and ruin them.
You're taking your life in your own hands, there, folks.
The other thing I'm thinking is maybe it's the size of the resort. Although we specifically asked a question about getting around, and no one really isolated one resort or the other. But if you look at Coronado and Caribbean Beach, they're much, much bigger in terms of size than French Quarter. Maybe that's people are reading something into that.
Yeah, maybe there's maybe because for housekeeping, I mean, you've got to clean X amount of rooms, and I'm not sure how they do it. I mean, maybe each housekeeper is only responsible for a certain amount. And they just have
I think it's like 12. It's a relatively small number.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need more. Cleaning to clean all the rooms at French Quarter is obviously going to be a much easier task than cleaning all the rooms at Caribbean Beach, for instance. That could play. I don't know.
They should adjust for that. I mean, the management should be smart enough to know. Well, you can't clean 12 rooms in both resorts in the same amount of time because of distance. They should be smart enough to know that.
Yeah, they could just hose it down and open it back up again.
Hose it down.
That's right. Open the door, high-powered hose, done. Next.
The other areas that Coronado didn't do very well in is in the food court, which is really odd because I really like the food court, but I got to admit it is for Disney, not a conventional setup. Mm-hmm. Disney's food courts are typically set up like mall food courts or like a buffet style thing where you walk through like at the All Star or at Pop. And it's completely different at Coronado Springs because you sort of walk through like an upside down or a sideways question mark shape, right? To get past all the stuff, and there's stuff on either side of you, and I think that confuses people. But it's relatively small. You should be able to walk through it in a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's especially when I know when I say at All Stars, which I do fairly often when I'm staying at the Valley Resorts. I know that when you go over there and you see a long line, it's not so much daunting. It's just disappointing. It's like, oh god, I gotta wait in that huge line over there, for the decent stuff over there. I mean, that's really where the lines always are. So I can imagine that at the larger resorts, you're gonna have a lot more people to compete with, so the lines may be longer, and that may be factoring into some people's reactions to it.
It also might be too. You know how you check out once you get the food with that little card with your stamps on it,
right?
That could be throwing people off too. Anyway, so onto the deluxe resorts, and fortunately in the deluxe resorts, many more resorts did well than did poorly. So let's start off with the ones that did poorly.
Okay.
Let's take a guess at what the lowest scoring resort was. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you guys a hint, and it's an easy hint. It's usually one of the hotels that is has the lowest average occupancy rates.
Oh, no. Yacht Club.
Okay, Mr. Scopa?
Grand Floridian.
Okay. Well, you mentioned all three resorts. Yacht Club is actually the worst at 66%, which is just astounding me. Grand Floridian and the Contemporary both have 75% satisfaction. Or when we ask people, would you stay there again? The Yacht Club at 66% is really just a shock.
It's funny because I know that when I talked to our sponsors of our Wednesday shows, MEI, Mouse Fan Travel. When I talk to them where they're staying, 99% of the time they're staying at Yacht Club, and that's because Disney always sticks to travel agents over there.
Because no one else stays there.
No one else stays there.
It's amazing. It was the lowest scoring Disney resort, and I'm just shocked. I think for that the price is definitely factoring into that, because if you're paying upwards of $400 a night, I expect something more than magic fingers, vibrating beds, which they don't have. But I would expect quite a bit. And I think the cost is really getting them. For the Grand Floridian, the things that people mentioned as dissatisfiers were Magical Express. Was one of the lowest rated resorts for Magical Express. Also, the value of the food. And at the Contemporary, it was just like Coronado Springs, actually, the exact same category: sound, bed comfort, room size, amenities, and food court value.
Sound. I knew sound would be in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's odd. But the yacht club is really surprising. And here's what's more surprising: the beach club scored a perfect 100% in terms of satisfaction.
Wow.
Everyone that we asked, would you stay there again, said yes. The beach club, Fort Wilderness, Saratoga Springs, and Shades of Green all scored 100% on the satisfaction.
Saratoga Springs, hey, I'm one of them. I'm on the bandwagon. I mean, that's I stayed there for Mousefest. Unbelievable resort.
Oh, you
How'd the
did
Poly
say
do,
that.
Glenn?
94% actually approval.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. And the Boardwalk Villas did. The Wilderness Lodge did really well at 95%.
Oh, so you knew we should have stayed there that time we were planning a trip to share a room at Wilderness Lodge.
That was
at the
Fort Wilderness.
at the Villas.
So
Yeah.
where did you stay in Saratoga Springs? That place is huge.
Congress Park. It was amazing. We had a one bedroom. Yeah, the one bedroom. We had an awesome view of downtown Disney. Really well done. The theming, the decor. It's new, so obviously that's helping you out right there. But I mean, just how the room was really laid out well. There's so much space over there, and I was paying the rate that I would pay for a regular room at a moderate resort. Why wouldn't you stay there?
Yeah. That's good. My only concern with that, did you use the food court at all?
No, I know the two things that are bad about Saratoga are food and buses. And I drove my own car, and I
made my own
off
food.
Scopa for food. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, but it did have a full kitchen, and
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the rooms. They're spacious. I think the bathrooms, especially the shower area, is particularly.
the bathroom is amazing. They had a real jacuzzi in there. I'm not just like one of those stupid bathtubs with some jets coming out of it on the bottom.
Yeah.
This was
an
a
actual
real jacuzzi.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I wish I spent more time over there.
We should have brought the crew from MTV Cribs.
Yeah, that's right. Check out my Saratoga Springs one bedroom.
Exactly.
Yo.
Hey, this is where the magic happens, baby. So, in terms of leave that in, Newell.
Oh God.
Don't be cutting out all my good lines. So, in terms of offsite resorts, we'll just mention nothing did really poorly in offsite hotels,
Except for the Hojos.
Yeah, no, actually, no one stated the Hojos that answered the survey. I think my
They all
rant
died.
on this point exactly. Maybe we will need that lawyer from New Jersey. The two hotels that did well were Windsor Hills and the Sheraton Vistana, both at 100% satisfaction.
Wow.
So
I've heard good things about the Vistana.
Yeah. I have to. I got to see that next time I go down. So that's pretty much it for now. We have a couple more. We're still analyzing a lot of the data from the surveys. I think we might want to talk next time about the things that people find important when they're choosing a hotel, but we'll save that for another show.
Great. Well, that's it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio. Today's show is sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVCBuyResale.com is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club membership. You can view their current Disney Vacation Club resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC points charts all at DVCBuyResale.com. Or call Chantel directly at 1-800-844-4099.